is, I guess, day 3 of however many times I do this. I'm going to be going to my jiu-jitsu practice in a little while, so I packed my bag up and all that. I was actually up at 3:30. I had to give myself time. I shower in the morning, and then again when I get out of jiu-jitsu. I think it's gross if you go and you are nasty, right? Like if somebody smells at jiu-jitsu, you have to deal with them for an hour. It's gross. So I always make sure to shower. Try to shave at least, like, if it gets past this, you gotta shave because you don't. Well, not so much in jiu-jitsu. That was more of a wrestling thing, but it's something that I just kind of stuck with. Trying to set up my thing. I'm going to show you guys my home gym that I'm building, because that's kind of what I'm doing in this gym. I get to come out here whenever I want because no one can hear me out here. So once I move all my other stuff, I'm actually going to turn my home gym into like a gym and an office all in one, because that'll just be easier. But yeah, that's my home gym. Anyways, so I actually yesterday got the new psychological types, well, not new, but a new book, because really I never ordered the book. I always just took the PDFs offline to read it, and I would just print them out and then highlight it. So this year I bought the soft cover, which I can go in and like highlight everything in. Then next year I'm going to do the hardcover. But I wonder if you guys can hear me. Sometimes when I do this, nobody can hear me when I go live on my phone, and I don't really know why. Let's make sure. Oh, I didn't mute my microphone, so good. All right. So I actually really was just going to read I was just going to read like the first paragraph of the foreword from the first Swiss edition of Psychological Types, which was written by Carl Jung. Just to get you guys thinking, I'm always wondering what his type is. I do think, like, if you were to just profile him based off of things we know, we would probably say he's an NI Dom, but then I just want to read this first paragraph. I'm not going to tell you guys a bunch of stuff. I could probably read 2 paragraphs in order to kind of get you thinking. He might be he talked about sensing in a weird way, so I just want to kind of read this first paragraph of the foreword. This book is the fruit of nearly 20 years' work in the domain of practical psychology. So this was all of his 20 years of experience. It grew gradually in my thoughts, taking shape from countless impressions and experiences of psychiatrists in the treatment of nervous illnesses. The intercourse with men and women of all social levels, from my personal dealings with friends and foe alike, and finally from a critique of my own psychological peculiarity. So he said right there that these thoughts took shape from countless impressions. Now we know that impressions are mostly from SI. So you read another paragraph, I guess. It is not my intention to burden the reader with case material. My concern is rather to show how the ideas I have abstracted from my practical work can be linked up. So he's saying that he's abstracted from concrete, and that those should be able to link up, both historically and terminologically, with an existing body of knowledge. So he is integrating his understandings into an existing body of knowledge. That does sound like it could be an I, right? Because that's how it really works. I have done this not so much from a need for historical justification as from a desire to bring experiences of medical specialists out of their narrow professional setting into a more general context, a context which will enable the educated layman to derive some profit from them. I would never have embarked upon the amplification which might easily be misunderstood as an encroachment upon other spheres, were I not convinced that the psychological views presented in this book are of wide significance and application, and are therefore better treated in a general frame of reference than left in the form of specialized scientific hypothesis. So, how he wants his work to be used is more of in an intuitive way. But he says that how he collected the information was more in a sensory way. So I just kind of found that interesting. When I read a book, I actually I'll read this page like a few times in order to really understand it. I've probably read this page at least 50 times. And every time you go through it, that's how I like to read books, because you're always going to learn more. Once you kind of use your intuition to get an understanding of what you read and you go back, you actually pick up more sensory details. So that's what I do. And when I read this, I do see evidence of sensation. I see evidence of how he wants it utilized using intuition. And I think that's just quite obvious that it shows evidence of how we all use both functions. So, yeah, I just wanted to read those two paragraphs because I thought they were really interesting, and they give you a lot of information into what Jung was thinking about when he was reading Psychological Types. I'm probably going to take more excerpts from that book that I'll just continue reading in future episodes. But for right now, I got to drink my protein. I'm going to be leaving in a little bit I got time, so if anyone wants to leave any comments or anything, I'll definitely respond. I don't even know what time it is, but I know I have like probably half an hour before I get to go to work out. So I like these proteins. They got like 30 grams of protein. I drink them every day. I think it's so important that you start your day with protein. I try not to eat carbs until actually late at night, because if I eat carbs at all during the day, really, all my energy gets strained. I deplete completely. I'll be taking naps. Though I do like to take naps, but I can do it without having carbs. And then my nap is actually a lot more relaxing than if I do have carbs. When I have carbs and I take a nap, I go into like a really deep sleep. I wake up groggy, so I really wait until I actually get ready to go to bed to eat a full meal with carbs. And then I can go to sleep really heavy at night, so it works. Yeah. Actually, I have to go get some caffeine too, so I'm going to be doing that. You guys want to check out my home gym? It looks like this. It's not done yet. I still have a lot of work to do. I have other things to put up, but it's getting there. I got to get some new weights and things like that. But I think that everybody should start building their own home gyms. I know a lot of people did during COVID. That was kind of part of the reason I did, actually. I always had a home gym, but now I have a nice home gym. Can you bench press all 20 volumes? Can I do that? I actually probably could. I don't have all 20 volumes though. I think in this book you get 4 volumes. Yeah. But I could probably bench press nowadays probably about 350 pounds. No, maybe like 325 now. But I think that's heavier than all the volumes of Young's books. Do you have all of the volumes of Young's books? Because I know that you've actually been looking into Young a lot longer than I have. So I assume that you have more volumes of his book than I do. I wonder how much those really do weigh. I'm actually going to go look and see how much each book weighs. But they're different than the original because everything's been translated, correct? So I wonder what the originals look like compared to the ones that have been translated. Because, yeah. Anyway, you guys want to come for a ride? Because I got to get out of here in a little bit before jiu-jitsu. Got to go get some energy drinks and some caffeine and things like that. So I'm gonna wake up the house probably. Oh yeah, if you guys want to start working out, just get these things. That's the best way. Me and my wife work out, and when I got her to start working out, we started with bands, and now she deadlifts and bench presses and all that other good stuff. So yeah, and then you'll be able to do pull-ups. Those are the hardest. That's my house. So I got home yesterday. I pulled into my driveway and there was a coyote in my driveway. So when I come outside, I gotta be cautious because I've heard them attacking animals at night. So that means they're like all around. We actually have a farm right next door, and they were shooting them the other day because they were all on the farm, just sitting in there. They wouldn't run away. So yeah, it was pretty cool. That wouldn't want to leave forgetting anything, you know, because that's hard enough to do when I'm not live streaming, you know. I'm live streaming and I'm trying to leave without forgetting anything. Good luck. Look, I went out. Alright, my orientation is locked. How do I change that? I guess I can't. Look what I got. I got something where I can put this up like that. So, I was going to talk about why I don't talk about types so much, like, in detail now, because what I've realized is and I actually said this in psychology once, I was like, you know, everything that can be said has been said. And I really do believe that, and I believe that from all aspects of psychology, that, like, we understand what's, like, how things work. And I don't think I have to go so much into the detail. And actually, even when Jung was writing Psychological Types, he didn't want to waste all the time on things that have already been accepted and are known to be true. He wanted to go deeper. And, like, I think that we already got all the logistics out now. Like all the logistics of typology and psychology are out there. People understand, like we understand how to manipulate people using just like reverse psychology and things. But we have like all these understandings, and I do think that um, we're not looking to just classify people. We're looking to actually use this as a tool to enhance psychology, right? Enhance consciousness for all individuals, right? So what I'd rather spend my time talking about and demonstrating on this channel is how I am moving through the ebbs and flow of life, how my libido goes inward and outward through these things that I'm doing, and how you guys can implement this, because you don't even need to go into specific types to understand how these things are done. Like you need to understand introversion and extroversion, and probably even judging and perceiving will help a lot, because you'll understand how you're being one-sided in your introversion or extroversion. But I don't think it's so important to go into all these technical details. I think we could look at brain scan imaging. I think that we're at a point where, like, if you have an Apple Watch, your watch is going to be able to scan your brain one day as you're doing things. And if you can understand like what certain information coming in is saying that you should be doing, like, hey, you know, maybe you should stand up, maybe you should go for a walk, maybe you should read a book or write a story, like, or maybe you should go meditate. Like, there's a bunch of different things that you can do, and like I think it's more, we're more at that stage in typology than we are in like identifying what types are. I think everybody who's ever done anything in their life can easily identify types of people, even without even being formally introduced to the system. So just so you guys know, that's kind of where my channel is going. It's more like, you know, this is what I'm doing, understanding what I understand about psychology. This is what you can do, understanding what you understand about psychology based on where you are in real life. I hope that you guys are kind of cool with that. But also on this channel, I'm going to start like, so I have other types of videos coming out that aren't like educational at all, because a big thing was I wanted to learn how to make videos, not just talk about type kind of influence that. But I do think that just moving from extremes is kind of what you want to do. Moving in and out of extremes is kind of what increases pressure on your psyche in order to cause your psyche to begin transitioning. And yeah, I hope that you guys like these videos I put together. I hope that I get better at streaming sometimes at some point, because I will. Actually, honestly, if I watch, what I realized is like day 1 sucks, day 2 in a row gets better. Today I feel like I was able to, even though it was like, it wasn't so consistent with the other 2 days, it was like, oh, I can come on here and talk more fluidly, just because I've been doing it and my brain's ready for it. And I think that by the end of 30 days, I'll be the best live streamer on YouTube, because I don't really think that, but I think I'll be a good live streamer. And then I'll be able to just come do this more often all the time. But yeah, and then I hope you guys like these other like more kind of comical. No, they're not really. I don't know what they are. They're like, it's meant to be a comedy, but I like scary stuff, so it's not a comedy. You'll see. It'll be out soon. Anyway, yeah, and I hope that you guys can do this in your own life, you know? Put yourself out there, do things that you want to do. Here's the thing, when I take off, I live near a reservoir, right? And we're like in the middle of the woods. So if you leave my house, well, I'll go the other way. There's 2 ways to leave. If there's one way, if I left, you guys would not be able to hear me at all. Like, it would just be kind of terrible. But since I'm going to take a left out on my driveway, I may have more service. And I shouldn't really be driving with the light on, but whatever. No one else is on the road. That's part of the benefit of waking up early, right? Which everyone should do. Like, honestly, like you've seen it, no one's bothered me. This is like, I have to put notes when I do this at work, or I do this when like my wife is up or anything. I have to put notes, do not disturb me. But see here, because no one's up, no one's gonna disturb me. I'm actually gonna go disturb the guy at the gas station when I go get my caffeine fix. Though he's a really friendly guy. Yeah, so he's not really gonna be disturbed. It's his job, I guess. Anyways, I think that I am probably going to get off of here. Thanks for being here, because I do know some people join me, and what I think I'm going to do is I might live stream tomorrow at night. That might be the thing. So if you're watching this, then you can expect that tomorrow night I'll live stream. Maybe I can get a lot of you in there. You guys come tell me what you think, and then I could tell you where you could fix things. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I don't really care where these go. You know, maybe I'll catch like a live stream and something wild will happen one day. Anyways, thanks for watching, and let me know what you guys think. All right? Bye.